This subject will not be raised on mainstream news, and when you hear it, you'll know why. So please make a donation, because subjects like this need to be discussed in the public realm. And this is about activist judges and activist lawyers. A few Ontario cases, but the cases are like this across the country, Newfoundland to BC. In Ontario, a man sued the government to force the government to pay for him to fly to Texas to have a vagina made on his body while he kept his male genitalia. Of course, the government said no. The court said, yes, you have to pay for it. While there are people waiting for operations, there are people waiting for good health care, and the government is being forced by the courts to have this cockamamie operation. Another one, the Ontario government said, we are going to prevent more bike lanes because it really is a dumb idea in many respects. Good idea in some places, but not widespread. Someone said, no. They went to the courts, and the court said, oh, under the charter, you have a right to these bike lanes. So this is insane. This is absolutely insane what is going on. The safe injection sites, quote, safe injection sites, beside where a woman in Toronto was shot dead by the druggies a summer and a half ago, the government said, you can't have these sites around hospitals, around schools. Someone went to the court and said, oh yeah, we need those. The court said, yes, you're hurting people's rights. So we are going to force the government to have these, quote, safe injection sites around. Same thing's happening in BC. This is lunacy. Those decisions are made by politicians who have been voted into office to make those decisions. No one voted for these judges to make decisions like that. Judges are to deal with right and wrong, to deal with questions of the law. These are not questions of the law. They're administrative matters. And judges, I know judges watching this now and lawyers, judges saying this now, are going to say, well, Drew, you're simplifying it. Yes, I am. I know there are some administrative regulations that judges have to go by where they may make these decisions, but they shouldn't. It's not their business to make decisions which are going against the popular elected decisions of the people of Canada, people of Ontario, people of every other province. So I was once offered a position on the bench. I thought about it carefully. I turned it down because I want to deal with political public issues. And I said, I'm not going to be able to do that for the bench. So I turned it down. These judges who are out there saying, we want to get involved in all these popular issues, they should have done the same thing. If you want to be in popular issues, then get off the bench and do not defeat democracy. Now, democracy is not always right. Some legislatures should be brought back in certain egregious cases. But to deal with sex changes, to deal with drugs, to deal with bike lanes, courts, stick to your knitting and stay out of that business. To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act, once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.